Right, a few days later, and wow, they're still a bit wet. Yeah, they are a bit damp, but they've dried up in quite a few places. So I think they just need a good, like, you just need to grip it and push the water out. I can feel it now. But the floor is okay. Now I've just cleaned up them 3 earth leads on that cross member. But it all looks quite clean actually. I've put just some bottle of white spirit. I couldn't find anything else, just to keep that insulation up to actually dry it out. So hopefully that should be good. There's a couple of areas that need going over in the corners that I can see, like down there. I don't think it's actually all right, it's just dirt. But I will put some rust killer around, but it looks very good to me. Now my task today is simple. This carpet's going to come out completely, to be honest. So we're going to take the sill panels out on both sides, and then I'll take some of the backrests out and we'll go from there. I think at the back seats there are some mounting bolts just here. They look like 10 mils, which we need to take out. I'll probably take out both backrests, to be honest with you. I've just taken that panel off, and hopefully I can get the sabs up and then we can take it all off. And once you've taken those 2 bolts out, you can just slide it out off that that little hinge there and just push it sideways towards the passenger slab, or the passenger side slab, and you're done. Yes, there's going to have to be some corrections made because that material has come away, but lucky enough in time, nothing we can't fix. Right, this slab could come across, and pop it there. Right, that's one out. Okay, and we'll just take the other out. These are 8mm bolts, by the way. Well, this is far less fiddly than other cars that I've had. Again, and just pull it sideways. It will need a bit of tug. There you go, and it's gone. There you go. We just pull this out the car, and now I'm going to look at the seat slabs themselves. Right, now I think if I look carefully, oh, it just pulls up. Oh, how nice. No, what's... honestly guys, I didn't put this here. AA service Rhodesia. What the hell is that? Look, it says Rhodesia on the top. Is this a farm one or something? Oh, I'm going to keep that. Well, we've got this material underneath, but the carpet ends here, so we've got to take out these trim panels, I suspect, and take the rest of it out. But I believe that this hinges, so I'll have a look at that in a second. But yeah, lots of cat hairs, and I don't know what that is. But oh dear, I don't like to see dog poo in the car. Is it? I don't know. That was disgusting, whatever it was. Yeah, we're going to need a bit of a clean up in here, so I think I'll have to get the back bit of random phone there. I'll chuck that in the bin. Yeah, there's a few bits to go in the bin. This Kenlo head unit with the other radio is going in the bin. Now I know that this system works with the steering wheel controls, it's got the adapter for it. However, I'm going to ditch the steering wheel controls because I did that in the Focus for a long time, and I have a really nice I have a retro style Bluetooth radio that will plug straight into that radio wiring harness, and it will get rid of all those stupid adapters that have been put in away. This is a bin job. I think it partially works, but it's not getting the signal properly when I connected it up a couple of days ago, so that's going. Yeah, I'm going to strip this back and find out how this comes off. Right, what I'm going to do first is release this C-pillar panel, which is one piece. So what you do is you remove the clip, there, right, just there, remove that clip, that plastic clip that connects to the boot liner. Then we have a Phillips screw there. Make sure the handbrake just slots out of that slot, and we have a Phillips screw up there, and then it should theoretically, if I'm good with my hands, just put that there, should be able to can put some resistance, I suspect, but basically it should come out. Right, as usual, I've discovered that there is another screw behind here, which means removing the side carpet trim in the boot, and I've got to move all this stuff out. So this is going to be probably more space consuming than actually sorting the engine out. But I've taken the carpet trim panel back off, so it should be released. It's good. Just want it completely off, and then down here, I'm just going to show you around here. We have, excuse my fun, I think there is a bolt down there. There we go. There is a Torx bolt, and I'm going to take those out and lift the whole slab off. That was delightfully simple, and it will just lift up the car. So we'll put that in the house and move on. And now you can completely remove this carpet, so it's all free from the back, and you can just lift it all the way up. Just gotta lift it under that B pillar trim, and we can lift the whole carpet out, and I'm going to bring it off the car in the house, because this really does need to be looked at on this side. It's still wet, and then we can start working from the ground up. Got all this. Ugh. God, animals. I mean, don't get me wrong, I am a bit of a dog lover, but I just don't like the mess they bring. There's always one little snag. This carpet was designed to be removed if the handbrake is actually removed. Now what I can see here is I can actually get this piece underneath here if I just take out this bolt. So you'll need to remove that 10mm bolt and lift the handbrake up and slip the carpet through. I just had to bring my tools in because it started raining. It's nice to actually be here on the floor and actually see just how solid it is on the inside, considering the amount of water ingress in this thing. We are going to monitor this while the carpet is out, and we're going to start laying the ground, hopefully to get this car dry. I am aware that there could be some issues with the drains below the wipers, but to be honest, when I've put a hose through, I can see, if I put a hose through where the wipers are, where the where your scuttle is, if the drain holes are blocked, I wouldn't see water coming out on the other side. Down below there's a drain channel on either side, and I see the drains are fine. So there's no evidence to me that at this time the drains are causing an issue. So yeah, that's a very curious one. But yeah, we're gonna just keep cracking on. At the time of this video is going to be split over a few days, because when I get home it's virtually pitch black. So, you know, and I want to be getting this sorted as soon as possible. Now, it has actually started raining, so this will be quite interesting, particularly what's going on up here. Now that, wow, that feels dry. Now, I'll know if it's leaking if that feels the slightest bit wet. That is completely dry. So the dehumidifier has actually worked and done its job, but I will bring it back in. We are going to do a load of jobs at the same time. Just put the handbrake there. But yeah, it's self-explanatory of a lot of things. I think these could be just dirty connectors. We'll clean it all back up as best as we can. But it's nice to get to know the car underneath, to see how everything is illustrated. I've got to say, this car is pretty privileged. I've not had this car for a massive amount of time, and the carpets are out. That is a privilege my Focus Mark 1 over 10 years has never had. Thank God, because you get the carpets out. It's the only reason I would is because of leaks. Yeah, and just down here, there is some moisture down here. I can feel some moisture here, but again, I think it's just this sound deafening. I'll tell you something, this sound deafening makes me think very strongly of certain W123 Mercedes of the 70s, 80s. They have thick sound deafening like this all over the place, and it's stuck. It really is stuck down to the metal, and they can, because they're so thick like this, and they hold any sort of water. I mean, it's still coming out. Yeah. It can just rot them from the inside out. They do enjoy rotting, Mercedes W123s. If anybody follows Furious Driving, that will be quite familiar to you. But yes, I haven't discovered any more earth points. I mean, I know where the cables are routed, so that one goes to the filler flap. And that one is to the actual boot lock, so it goes under the floor by the look of it. Oh no, that can't go under the floor. That's to go down the side. We can actually remove this as well, actually, and just get around. I just tried to loosen that piece of trim, but the truth is, I don't think I need to. It's pretty clean under there. I'm not going for the faff of having to get all that out in the boot, because half of this stuff is from the interior. But I'm just going to give it a bit of a vac and clean, which is what she needs at the moment. Well, good. And I've come inside the house, and we have just had the delivery of the new battery, which is a Yuasa 5000 YBX 5063. So it's an 063 battery. It is, I believe, the most powerful 063 battery you can get. End of. Most of them are nowhere near as powerful as this. 12 volts, 52 amp hours, and 520 amps, cold cranking amps. Now that is very comparable with the Halfords battery that that has just come off the Focus. It's only 30 short on the cold cranking amps and 8 amp hours short, which is very, very powerful. The Lion battery that this car came with, which are awful batteries in my opinion. I've never had. I bought one and it was dead within about 6 months, and this one was barely 2 years older according to the last owner. But basically, that had about 30. I think it was about 40 amp hours, 38. Or 42, and 380 cca. I mean, that's just nowhere near as much. The specification for Rover 45s are 45 amp hours across the range, for about 45, 46, according to the handbook. So this is this is a really good size battery for the car, and powerful enough. I just want a decent battery. This was from, as I say, Tanya batteries. I've never had a problem with them. I'm just going to stick the battery tester on, because this will actually work. So just put that on, and it should immediately come up with a reading, which it does. So we are going to go in. Oh dear, doesn't want to pick up the screen. Well, that's handy. My camera refuses to pick up the LCD screen. Well, I can tell you now, I'm just going to go through the settings actually. Out of vehicle, yeah, CCA 520, testing, and it's telling me it's a good battery, 5 ohms of resistance, which is fantastic, 100% state of health. There you go. So it is a good battery. We know it's a good battery, and we can fit it. The only thing I have to do is you have to remove the transit plugs, remove both of them. I actually didn't do that once years ago, and it was a battery I bought before I bought that Halfords one. I've had that on the Focus for 4 years now, but I bought a really cheap one, and the instructions weren't very clear, I've got to be honest with you, and I didn't remove the plugs, and battery acid went everywhere. And I'll tell you what, even to this day, I have cleaned and cleaned and cleaned that Focus, as most of you will know, and that battery tray, occasionally in the winter, I still see freckles of battery acid where they go crystallizing. And I just think, how the hell is it returning? I've cleaned it several times, and that was years ago. So yeah, remove the transit plugs. Oh, by the way, because I didn't follow the instructions, which apparently they had on their website, that I didn't see, the warranty was voided. It was a waste of 40 quid at the time. This battery was £64 with delivery. I can't argue at that. It's just the delivery service I think was pretty poor, to be honest with you. Not great if you need it in an emergency, which batteries usually are. So I'm very pleased with that. Right, while the dehumidifier is actually working and doing its bit, as I say, I've just given it quite a nice vacuum. It didn't take too long. Sorry, I couldn't film that. It was a bit too much, particularly now I haven't got the light, as I say, because of the dark evenings. But it's all come up really nice. It just needs a bit of a clean down. Yeah, looks quite nice. Now, I have actually, as I said before, I've gone over these earth points, and they weren't too bad actually. So the next thing is getting this Petron unit out. As I say, I'm just going to point the camera here. Look at the amount of, sorry, it's too bright. Look at the amount of surface rust on that frame. Look at the brown. It's just orangey, orange powder. Yeah, I might use some rust killer on this frame, because I do think there's been a little bit too much water. Anyway, to get the Petron unit out, it's supposed to be I believe they designed this unit to withstand Thatcham's 5-minute attack criteria. So you've got, so it might be a bit of a faff. You've got this bolt in. I believe that will just swing straight out of this cage. I think you just bend it that way, and then we can release the whole thing. And then we'll just release these 4 plugs individually. So it's a 7mm bolt. There we go. That's easy enough. We should release the whole cage. There we go. Should be able to. Oh, come on. Right. Tell you what, it smells a great deal better in here already without the dampness. I think those carpets add to it, and they're going to be cleaned. They're inside the house, just having a bit of a clean. Now, if I could just swing that, oh, that actually comes out. Should it? There we go. So it sort of hooks in and comes out. So just put that down there, and the whole thing should be free. It is. So we're going to release all these top plugs with a flat blade screwdriver. I'll do that off camera. Right, it might be advisable actually to release the plugs before you release that bolt, because it was a bit of a faff. It was all moving, but they all came out, all 4 of them. We should be able to do a faff this. The frame is actually getting in the way. Come on, there we go. It is coming out. Just give it a pull forward. It does need squeezing out. Yep, I think that withstood a 5-minute attack criteria, more like 2 minutes. I don't know how. I don't know. We're going to get this open in another video, and we are actually going to test the relays. We're going to have a look inside and test all the relays. There is a test that I've been told from a very good website by a gentleman who does repairs on these. I am not the most experienced with soldering, and I have a desolderer, I have a soldering iron, but I think I would, if it's a pity, because I believe that the relay that controls the intermittent wipers also controls the super deadlocking. I didn't test that out with the battery, but I'm going to test all 5. I know which relay it is. It's one of 5. And they're very cheap, but just soldering them in, I'd prefer to have this tracked and sent off. It is a bit of a risk with the Royal Mail, but if I pay for a good service from the Royal Mail, hopefully it shouldn't be a problem. But I say the frame's just all. We've got all these down here. Oh, MG Rover stamped on them. Don't know what they're for. They run up right up the back. But we're just going to have a. I put some rust killer on some of this. We are going to have a bit of a clean round. I'm literally just going to put a wet wipe all around the whole center console, all of this, and obviously going back, we're just going to put a wet wipe all through this. And yes, every time I come in I drag half the driveway in here, but you know, it's nice to see everything under here. As I said before, you've got so you've got the airbag connectors on the side. There's one that side and one on this side. You see where the cables go. It's really nice to see. So yeah, I'm going to leave that here for today, because as I say, this is all dry, and I've just put the bottle under, and that's getting better. That's a lot better now. And I'll get that up again as well, and just have a really good clean around, because as far as I'm concerned now, this is as stripped as what you get. So I'm not going to take the C-pillars off. Obviously the door cards are going to come off for the door handles on this side, but as far as stripping is concerned, we've got to the point where we just need to observe. Obviously the headlining is going to come out, and I'm going to do that as a video, a separate video going forwards, but that's what we wanted to get out. So we're going to finish here.